OMT Online Dynasty, welcome back everybody. This is going to be our week 10 game of the week. We'll be heading down to the Sun Belt Conference for this one. I don't know why that just happened. As Nabuda and his UTSA Roadrunners will be taking on GMOS and his Georgia Southern Eagles. A huge conference clash there because if you haven't seen any of these before, this is a 32 user online dynasty. We've got 4 custom conferences, 8 teams in each, and it is a relegation based system starting with this season. So first and second from year 3 all got put into the Mountain West, third and fourth got put together, all that good stuff. And then how we do this year determines what conference we're going to be in next year. And these two squads are both battling for that potential promotions. This will be Nabuda taking on GMOS, 2 of our newer users in the Dynasty. If you are interested in potentially joining, it is all done through the Discord. The link for that is down in the description. Just hop in there, tag me, make a post, DM me something. Let me know you want on the wait list because we do have about 16 people on there right now, about 2 seasons worth. So as long as you got a little bit of patience, you will get a spot in there, and that wait list is going to carry over into college football 27. So what else do we need to talk about? Not really a whole heck of a lot else, I don't think. We also did have a gigantic conference clash between James Madison and Louisiana. This past week, we will have game breaks featuring the highlights of that. We'll have the halftime highlights of some of the other user games that went on here throughout the week. With all that covered, I think we can just go ahead, hop into the depth charts of both of these teams. We will start with Nabuda and his UTSA Roadrunners. And I do apologize if I'm getting your name wrong. I probably should have asked beforehand how to pronounce it, but here we are, here we go. So UTSA, 1-star program sitting at a 70 overall. So nobody was UTSA. Somebody was UTSA like our first season, and then they were CPU controlled until the start of year 4. So they are not going to be in the best spot, hence them being a 70 overall. But you get to play in the Alamo Dome, and they actually have really nice alternate uniforms, and I like their regular uniforms too. So a lot going for UTSA, including their quarterback Luke Moga. I believe he started at Oregon. I think he's an Oregon quarterback. Pure runner, magician, shifty workhorse, 82 overall, 92 speed. We'll see if UTSA is going to utilize the legs of that quarterback. I believe they are going to be in the Oregon playbook, and I honestly don't know the Oregon playbook super well. I don't think there's a ton of QB runs in there, but I could be wrong about that. I guess we will find out. At halfback, we're going to have Austin Melvin with a silver shifty, 93 speed. So some good speed so far in the backfield here. A star dev junior. Fullback, don't really care. Wide receiver, okay. So we are lacking a little bit of speed here, but shout out to Devon Cheeseman. What a fantastic name on that guy. Redshirt freshman, impact dev, already 93 speed. So a player to keep our eye on here, not just for this game, but going forward for UTSA. At tight end, Charleston Bouye, 50-50 sure hands, only 6'2", but 83 overall, 85 speed. With those abilities, makes for a very solid tight end. I mean, offensively, you would like a little bit more speed at wide receiver for sure, but there's only so much you can really do taking over for a new team like this. And I mean, elsewhere on offense, a ton of speed, some good playmakers. I don't hate how the UTSA offense is shaped up here. Offensive line, holy cow. Look at this guy. He's a right guard playing right tackle, but with platinum quick step and platinum quick drop. Yeah, I understand why you moved that guy to tackle. What a stud. Holy cow. Okay. That just blew my mind. I was not expecting to see something like that here on this UTSA team. Let's take a look at their defense here. Juan Easter, pocket disruptor on one edge, a takedown on the other. Quincy Stoudemeyer. Gosh, some of these names are just something else. Pocket disruptor workhorse on Lee Jones. We got a couple pocket disruptors. We've got a few abilities across our defensive line. We don't hate that. For 66 overall defense, to have those kind of abilities on your defensive line, you could be doing much worse. Seth MacFarland, and that actually looks like the Family guy. He's okay. That man, there's been a few speed bumps going through this UTSA depth chart here. It's really throwing me for a loop early in the morning here. Linebackers, let's see if any of these guys are worth playing. I mean, this Mike one, Alan Green, 84 speed, 6'2". You could definitely play that guy. Oh, that was Alan Green too. I was gonna say I saw another 80 something speed, but turns out it was the same guy. At corners, okay, 5'11", blanket coverage, 90 speed, 6'1", house call, 93 speed, 5'9", but gold house call in 93 speed. So our top 3 corners, actually not too shabby here with UTSA. Free safety, house call, 88 speed, so kind of like what we see on their wide receiver room. You have some speed in there, you would like a little bit more, but we have pretty good abilities on the secondary, a decent enough defensive line, at least we got abilities there too. Not a ton at linebacker, but overall, for being a 70 overall team with a 66 defense, I don't hate how this UTSA team is set up. You can definitely see there's some potential there for UTSA to build up going forward. There's definitely some players on this squad. Let's go check out Georgia Southern. I'm 100% going to call them Georgia State. I always do that when we're doing this with one or the other team. It's just a thing that happens. Georgia Southern, also one-star team, 74 overall. Let's take a look at their offense here. They will be in the Arkansas playbook, which is a playbook I think is very good. The pistol formations are really good. The gun doubles are really good. There's a lot of good stuff in Arkansas. Tavito Wynn is going to be our quarterback. Mobile resistance, elite dev redshirt freshman. Speaking of people to keep our eyes on in the last few years of this dynasty, this freaking quarterback, he's already 83 overall, playing up to an 84. He's already got one ability, 93 throw power, 86 short, 86 medium, 75 deep. This guy is going to be a freaking problem at Georgia Southern. Holy cow. Okay. That's a heck of a way to start. At halfback, of course, our guy, Eddie Guerrero, lie, cheat, and steal your way down the field. It's going to be a sad day next season whenever we cover Georgia Southern again and this guy is gone. He's been like my rock throughout this dynasty. I don't know what I'm going to do without him. At wide receiver, we're going to have Tevin Peace, 89 speed, but 6'5". Impact Dev, true sophomore. Another guy to keep our eyes on going forward with Georgia Southern. How about this Kinoy? Okay, so he's just a normal dev, but he already has cutter and he's 6'3" with 88 speed. We got Tonjes here, 6'3", so he really likes his height at wide receiver, it would appear. We got 6'5", 6'3", 6'3", a couple cutters out there. Not the best speed, but having that cutter ability does help make up for quite a bit, and they're all sophomores, you know, 2 redshirt sophomores, impact dev. The wide receiver room, maybe not this year, but soon, is going to look really, really nice for Georgia Southern, and pair it with that quarterback. This offense could be clicking sooner rather than later. And at tight end, we got a true freshman, 6'5", impact dev that's already 85 speed. Pieces, man. There are some really, really good pieces on this Georgia Southern offense. I am impressed with what we're seeing here so far. Even at tackle, redshirt sophomore, impact dev, already with quick step. Let's see, anything else across our offensive line really worth noting. It's very early in the morning. You're gonna have to excuse me on some of those. We got our left guard playing out at right tackle, just like what we saw with UTSA with the Platinum Quickstep Star Dev redshirt sophomore. The amount of sophomore like star and impact devs on this team are really, really, really impressive. I think this offense is going to be nasty sooner rather than later. Let's check the defense here. Nothing really at our edges. Anything really at D-tackle and impact dev with grip breaker, redshirt sophomore, impact dev, redshirt sophomore. I'm telling you, man, this team, it is not going to be long. Look at this linebacker, too. 88 speed already. Impact dev, true freshman. I'm telling you, this Georgia Southern team, it is not going to be long because GMOS took them over. I don't remember exactly when. It was fairly recently. And they were originally built to be like a triple option, spread option, power run type team. And now with that Arkansas playbook, it'll be interesting to see how that is going to pair together. But man, am I impressed with some of the young guys that we have got on this squad. Corners, redshirt sophomore, star dev, Phillip Hook, 5'11" with house call. Junior here, 92 speed, 6 foot tall. How about, okay, just a normal dev. I was expecting another star. Oh, here's another impact dev, already 90 speed, Jaden Boyette at corner as well. Telling the young guys on this Georgia Southern team, this team is not far away from being a gigantic problem. Boyette is going to be starting up at free safety. Makes sense, get him some playing time, get some XP so we can upgrade him throughout the offseason. Boy, even just by next year, I think this team could be really, really nasty. They've got some unbelievable pieces on this squad. So that is how both the teams are set up. I like pieces, bits and pieces of both those teams. I think this is going to make for an interesting matchup. I know it makes for an interesting matchup, but we got a heck of a game here on our hands. So let's just throw it to the game. UTSA taking on Georgia Southern. Good luck to Nabuda. Good luck to GMOS. Let's get to it. And it's going to be UTSA starting with the ball first here. This is all going to be from Nabuta's perspective. Overall, they are at 2-6, but I believe they were 2-1 in conference heading into this one. Georgia Southern was 2-2, I want to say. And there's nowhere to, you know, finishing bottom 2 in the Sun Belt, there's no penalty for that. But if you get top 2, that's when you're going to move up. We'll talk about more about that after the game when we look at our full conference standings there. Going with a little read option right away, trying to use those legs of Moga, but big boy number 93 having absolutely none of it. Brings him down in the backfield for a loss of 4. Now seeing some of that shuffle motion out of the Oregon. See, the thing with me in this Oregon playbook is it's like I've always put it is it's like similar formations, like familiar formations, but very unfamiliar places. We go for a seam shot right away, and it doesn't get picked off right through the hands of number 11, right into the hands of number 20. It looked like that was potentially there, but what an undercut there by number 11. Kind of just volleyball sets that one up to his help defender, who comes down with the ball. Second play of the game, Georgia Southern forcing the stop on defense. Wow. What a start to this one. What was I saying about Oregon? Oh yeah, so it's familiar formations, but like unfamiliar plays and a lot of different kind of weird motions and things, and it takes some getting used to. I think it does have potential. It is a very good playbook. It's absolutely blown up in the backfield there. But it's something about it just seems foreign, and it's hard for me to get comfortable in it. But we'll see how UTSA is going to utilize it there. I like the attempt to go for that seam streak early. Didn't quite work out for him. Georgia Southern tried to get one to Eddie Guerrero to get this one going, but got kind of wrecked in the backfield there. So a 2nd and 11. Going to some of the bunch here. Arkansas's got, what is it, Bunch X Nasty? I guess I could have just seen what it was, but here we are. Has that corner out, but I don't know if Wynn's going to be able to make that throw. Has to throw it away. The pressure gets in the backfield. A little bit of a stunt coming in there from the UTSA defense. Let's see. So we're staying in 3-3 over. Bunch Strong Nasty is going to be the formation. The Arkansas crossers or Razorback crossers, something like that. Really good play. And we must have a shell on here because we have that hard flat coming all the way over from the right to the left. Trying to hit a quick one right in the seam over there to the left to number 16. DeMar Tonjes unable to come down with that one. 4th and 11. How aggressive do we want to be here if we're Georgia Southern? Can our kicker make a 57-yard field goal? Probably not. That is an awful long kick. At least we're at home. Don't have to worry about stadium pulse or anything. But that is a long way to try a kick here. I don't hate going for it. You're kind of in no man's land here. You don't want to punt at the 40. A little shade down, shade up from UTSA here, so everybody's gonna be dropping back fairly far unless we set our flats, which I don't know if we did. Go for the little crosser there to Tevin Peace. He had some room. He had some room to run. I don't know if we were picking up that first down. That number 7 was kind of hollering right back behind him there. Huge stand for the UTSA defense there. Throws that interception on their 2nd play of the game. No harm, no foul. Take it right back at their own 40. The Roadrunners coming out in the bunch strong offset. And like usual, these will pretty much just watch the first opening drives of each team here. UTSA, we only saw a couple plays, so we'll watch their drive and probably Georgia Southern's next one here as well before we start hopping around a little bit. Give it right up the gut to Austin Melvin, finding some good runs. That's what's nice. That bunch strong offsets really got some good run plays in it too. Of course, it's going to have great pass plays, but it looks like, yeah, we audible down to Duo, a fantastic run out of here. I'm not sure if Oregon has, because you have the tosses out of there too, but Duo is just so good. And oh my, look at Austin Melvin. The first defender gets blocked. Melvin just steps right over him like he's not even there. Second defender goes for the dive. Melvin the defender was like Ty Lue. Melvin was like AI, just steps right on over him, takes it all the way in for the UTSA touchdown. That's how we answer back. Moga may be struggling a little bit early through the air here. Just give it to your guy, Austin Melvin. Let him go to work. We'll catch a little bit more of the Georgia Southern offense here at the beginning, coming out in some wing trips. Big boy tight end over on the left there, along with Eddie Guerrero in the backfield. Going, a little play fake, little RPO, trying to hit that little flat to number 88. Then Matthew Bauman, the stud freshman tight end of Georgia Southern, able to pick up 4 on that one. Now we got our trips over to the right. We still got our tight end over on the left, Matthew Bauman, Eddie Guerrero back in the backfield. Going another little RPO, sneaks one out to number 89, big boy Howie Kanoy, able to find some open space, get downfield. Look at that big 6'3" frame juking his way around. What a play from the gadget wide receiver there, taking that RPO for 40 yards, putting Georgia Southern down to the 24, looking to tie this one up. Some tight open, another good formation out of Arkansas. Really good. The speed option out of here is actually really good. Wouldn't expect it here with him being on the right hash. Here comes that stunt coming through again, but right over the middle of the field, we find our guy. Win, hitting him on the run, picking up another first down, another one to Howie Kanoy. Again, just use that big body. Find a spot in the zone, sit right there, we'll get it to you. Kind of like Travis Kelce or Jason Witten. You know, he's a big man. Find some spots and rumble your way down the field. Now we're seeing a little bit of the gun doubles of Arkansas. We got Guerrero to his right, number 5 and 89 over to the left. We'll give it to Eddie Guerrero on the run right up the middle, but the UTSA defense swarms into the backfield, brings him down just a gain of 4, 2nd and 6 now. Georgia Southern right on the 10-yard line. Bunch strong, nasty. Is there an RPO out of here? I'm definitely concerned about RPOs here if I'm UTSA, because we've seen a few from Georgia Southern here on this drive, but it is not going to be one. I'm not sure. Oh, his two guys were really just running right into each other there. His two guys on the right trying to go to the left. They just couldn't get out of each other's way. Leaves Win nowhere to go, so he's got to throw that one away. Doubles Y off. 3rd and 6. From the 10, we can pick up a first down. Set up a 1st and goal here. Let's see what. So it's going to be shaded down cover 2. It looks like is going to be the defense. We're going to be on the mid-read of Mr. Green. Yep, we got the 5-yard hooks there. Finds the halfback wheel out of the backfield, right in between the hook, right in between the hard flat. There is Eddie Guerrero picking up that first down, 1st and goal at the 2. Let's get Guerrero into the in for the touchdown here. Come on, we got to get it to our guy. Latino Heat, punch one in here, brother. Big heavy pistol set, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Guerrero in the backfield. Go Eddie. Eddie Guerrero, the legacy lives on. He goes in for the touchdown, ties us up at 7 apiece. That'll take us to our first game break of the day here between James Madison and Louisiana. The Raging Cajuns already up 7-0, about 3 minutes left in the first quarter here. Coming out in some flexbone normal, a little X dig, setting up a mesh between the wingbacks. One of those is 100% going to be getting open. You would have to think, oh, unless it's some good zone coverage there, but there goes Jawan Johnson, and that's what makes Louisiana so gosh dang dangerous. The red menace of the Raging Cajuns, hitting a new dance move. Always appreciate that. I did not like the one we used to do there. But Jawan Johnson in for the touchdown, making it a 14-point lead for Louisiana early on in that one. And we don't have to wait long for our next highlight is UTSA. He's got a 2nd and 5 here at their own 30. Gives it to run number 20, holding that thing like a loaf of bread. But look at him cutting his way through the Georgia Southern defense. Richard Kindred, the Kindred Spirit himself, takes that one for a 43-yard rush. Puts the Roadrunners back inside the 30-yard line. Pretty good start for these two offenses. We saw, except those first drives. Both teams' first drives weren't great. But other than that, these teams have gotten it going here a little bit. That's number 40, Tremaine McKenzie on the carry that time for UTSA, rotating through these backs, using some of that split back formations, which can, as we're seeing, are very good. And we saw Louisiana likes those quite a bit. Also very good. Split slot open. Let's see if we're going to stick with a run here. And especially with a quarterback as fast as Moga, they have a lot of like option plays, read options, triple options, things like that. That'll make it a lot easier for us to use the speed, use the legs of our quarterback here. But that one ends up getting blown up for a loss of 1, brings us up to a 3rd and 2. Right on the door of the red zone. Going with an RPO out to the right. We got to just watch that slot corner, see where he ends up going here. If he comes inside, we can throw it. He does. We can. Could have used a little bit better block from our man outside there. Just hold that one-on-one block, and we're at least picking up the first down. Unfortunately, Nathan Wallace ends up getting brought down just short. 4th and inches. Yeah, we're going for it here for sure. Going back to bunt strong offset, and I did just see they do have pin pull toss in here, which is very nice against like a double mug, a super condensed defense. Yeah, I like to switch to duo against this defensive front though, if we're going to run the ball. I don't love the pin pull toss against this kind of look. We are going to go with that duo run, and the blocking, it sets up enough. It didn't set up great, but it set up enough for UTSA to pick up the first down and keep the drive alive. I'm going with Dagger. Let's see what hot routes we do on Dagger. Just come back over there. Do we do anything with A? Are we going to keep that all as is? Looks like we are keeping that one as is. A blitz coming off the right from the slot corner, but just checks one down. Oh, struggling with words today. Finds Nathan Wallace. William Wallace's great grandson gets open over the middle of the field there. First and goal. Take it to the second quarter. The first and goal for UTSA as we start the second quarter. Ball at the 4-yard line. See if we're just going back to our guy Melvin. We are indeed, and my goodness, you could drive a semi-truck through that hole. That looked like, speaking of Roadrunners, that looked like a painted-on tunnel on the side of a cave. That time, though, it's not fake. He's not running right into the rock wall. He runs right on through there. Touchdown for UTSA. But GMOS's Eagles have struck back quickly here. Just a couple plays later, they are past the 50-yard line into UTSA territory. Get a little motion there from number 87. Another little RPO to that number. Who is number 87? Dylan Galloway. I believe the backup tight end there. Yep. Gets wide open to that right flat. Takes it for 7 yards. Those RPOs have really been giving UTSA a hard time here. We'll see if that's something Georgia Southern's are going to keep leaning into as this game goes on. I feel like that's been kind of our best success we've had on offense so far. So it's going to be a little shaded down cover 4. Got him right over the middle. Whoa, that was a close call. Ooh, that was a close call. Tevin Peace using that big frame and boxing out the hard flat just barely, just enough for them to pick up the first down on that one. Awful tight window. Tevin Wynn delivers one right on the money. A little overload 3 seam send that blitz, but Eddie Guerrero, he's going to find his way to pick up 4 yards on that somehow. 2nd and 6 for Georgia Southern. Doubles flex week. So we're seeing a lot of the different doubles out of Arkansas. What I really think makes this playbook good are their gun doubles. Cover 6 Willie. So it's a match on one side. Oh, but we shaded. So it canceled the match, and we find our guy, number 89, Howie Kenoy, again on that completion. First down for Georgia Southern. Kenoy, I feel like he's kind of been our standout guy. And that also sounds like, what's the Keno? Is that like a bingo type game that's played in casinos? I'm pretty confident in it. It's called something like that. His name makes me think of it. Okay, so a little inverted cover 2 here. Trips to the wide side. Got to worry about an RPO here. We've seen Georgia Southern go to it a few times, but not this time. We are going to have that right underneath on the right again, giving up those drags, giving up those quick hitters, because those cloud flats, they do like to back up quite a bit, and it leaves the underneath pretty wide open. So we'll take a free 8 on that. Coming out in this 4-4 split defense, I don't know if I've really seen anybody try this before. Showing blitz, going to that RPO. We have the hard flat out there that time, and gets off the block. Big boy number 16, able to bring him down for no gain. Almost really wrecked that play. That was almost really close. I think that was cover 2 invert, and we just shaded down, which I like that for RPO defense, because the hard flats are kind of coming from the inside, which I think helps quite a bit. And it looks like we are going right back to that same thing. I didn't see if we were shaded down there, if those were cloud flats or hard flats. Those are hard flats. We have that crosser. We have, oh my goodness, Mr. Wynn, living Ta Vida Loca, just absolutely sold him on that one. We had 2 guys wide open in that back left corner of the end zone, and Wynn just absolutely airmails it. Okay, well, a 4th and 2, Georgia Southern is going to decide to go for it. Goes back to the RPO, and this time UTSA is ready for it. That shaded down. See, I like that defense against RPOs with where those hard flats are coming from. They are going to react much better against RPOs. They fly down there to the tight end, bring them down. Turnover on downs, UTSA taking over. Let's throw it to another game break here between JMU and Louisiana. The Raging Cajuns have found themselves up 21-0, but JMU says, you know, Louisiana, you've got a freak quarterback. We've got a freak quarterback too. Cam Dyer on the QB run up the middle, finds some space out to the right, and nobody on that Louisiana defense is going to be able to keep up with that, man. Just needs a little bit of space, and he is going to make you pay. Touchdown, JMU, bringing that one back to a 14-point ball game. The Roadrunners now looking to take advantage of that turnover on downs, hit a nice little dagger play right over the middle, puts them into Georgia Southern territory. I almost just called them Georgia State, had to stop myself for a second there. Under 2 minutes to go, so we really do want to work this clock here a little bit, going back to that duo run. And that's what happens a lot on duo. It almost looks like it's blown up, but it hardly ever is. It's an unbelievable run at a bunch strong offset. If you're in a playbook with bunch strong offset, get some duo in your life. It is a fantastic play. We'll go with the trips to the short side here, tight end over on the left. Let's see if we're just going right back to Mr. Melvin. We are indeed, and again, this run blocking up front from UTSA has kind of been bullying the Eagles here. That's 9 carries for 93 yards for Austin Melvin, just absolutely picking apart this Georgia Southern defense. So going with a little middle slant here out of trips, with the trips to the short side here again, get Melvin out to a quick flat. Wouldn't hate just taking, no, it can't go to Melvin, could potentially go to X. It's kind of risky with that flat defender there. You just never really know, because I swear sometimes they are going to react to that and you're just dead. You're just absolutely toast. Now a 2nd and 10 at the 28. How aggressive do we get here as UTSA? Because, you know, 3 points makes it a 2-score game. Minute to go before halftime, ball at the 28, should hopefully be in field goal range, you would think. On the road, though, you never know with the stadium pulse and everything like that. Looks like we are just going to try another run here to Melvin, see how this blocking sets up. Now, that time, big boy number 93 shoots straight into the backfield. I believe that was a loss of 1. It is. So now it is a 3rd and 11 for UTSA. Going back to our split slot, backs cross, a fantastic play out of here. Really good against man, really good against match, really good against a lot of things. Here comes that big blitz. So we potentially had RB, but good pocket, good patience from our guy Luke Moga. Wait for that deeper dig to get open right over the middle of the field. Huge 3rd down conversion there from the Roadrunners. Keep the obviously to keep the drive alive, pick up the 1st down. B, from a clock standpoint, that is massive. Now, with Georgia Southern already having to have burned 1 timeout, we can run almost the rest of the clock here in the 1st quarter. We are going to go with a Moga run right up the middle, and it's a strip fumble. Oh, no way. That looked like a user strip, too. It looked like Georgia Southern clicked on there, hit RB, and sent that ball flying. And what a recovery by was that number 15 who jumped? No, it was number 15 who forced the fumble. But what a recovery, because, you know, so many times on those fumbles, your defense just stands there and has no idea what to do. And then we almost gave it right back there, where, yeah, they just stand there. They have no idea what to do. At that time, he jumps on that unbelievably quick, gets the turnover, keeps it a 1-score game, but we are not out of trouble here if we are Georgia Southern. We saw it on that RPO. It's very, very easy to just try to quick throw something here, and it still can be a touchdown for UTSA. Staying in that same defense, going with some cover 3 match this time. It's also very easy to see, like right there. That was dicey. That was close. So it's also very easy to just step out of the back of the end zone. We were a little close on that one. Also a little close to getting intercepted. But it's going to be a 4-man rush. Blitz coming. Again, we're just dropping back pretty far, but take that drag right underneath. Chops his legs right out from under him. And Georgia Southern actually takes the timeout here. From your own 13 with 19 seconds left, I guess you could try throwing something a little more downfield, but seems awful aggressive. We've gotten away with a couple pretty close throws on this drive here. Going to the 3-3-5, going with the dagger play. We had the streak on the left. Hold on. I don't know what this guy was doing. He must have been in a 10-yard. So he's in a 10-yard cloud. So he just stays totally put, and then he bumps into him. And we have that streak, but Win will just take off and run and get out of bounds. Oh man, that could have been it. Yeah, we must have our zone drops on here with like 10-yard curl flats or something like that here for UTSA. So we're just going 3-man rush, try to play the safe, a little 3-3-5, 3 high. You can take the underneath if you want. goes with the cover 3 bomb, but Peace just doesn't have the speed, at wide receiver, gets caught down from behind. But beautiful, I'm going to rewind this again just for a second. But a beautiful cover 3 bomb here from GMOS and Georgia Southern, going with kind of that slot fade out to the right there with the corner route to drag down that outside third, opens it up. You can hit it right over the top there. If we just have a little bit more speed at wide receiver, that is a touchdown for the Eagles, but still able to get 3 points on the board there, get the fumble, pick it up at the 1 yard line with 30 seconds left, and be able to get 3 points on the board. That's a pretty impressive drive there from Georgia Southern. So that'll take us to half, with it being a 14-10 ball game. And make sure nothing happens there on the kickoff. Nope, we are good. A pretty wild end of the first half there. Let's take it to our halftime highlights from 3 other user games that went on throughout week number 10. Start with Rice and Georgia State here in the Conference USA Showdown. Some flex mode offense here from Georgia State, looking to roll out, looking to make a play, but the user defensive taxi cab and Rice jumps right underneath that. The baby blue helmet's looking awful nice for Rice. Not only gets the interception, somehow outruns Georgia State, and that is a pretty dang fast offense, so that 55 must have some wheels on them. 7-0 lead for the Rice Owls. Now back on offense, going with that power run game yet again. And number 28, look at this, just get off me, little fella, hits the big spin move and then outruns all 5 Georgia State defenders that were right there, takes that one in, makes it 14-0 lead for Rice. It kept getting worse from there, 31-0, but Georgia State, I think this was a very similar play to what we tried and threw that interception on. This time, right up the seam, there is that speed of the Panthers offense. Takes that one in for a touchdown, but Rice gets the win there, 45-14. Now let's take it to San Diego State versus Washington State. Right over the middle. Beautiful find there by Rainbow. And look at the juke move of big boy number 35. He's got some moves on him too. Touchdown San Diego State. 14-0 lead now. Washington State looking to keep this one interesting, and they do on that RPO. Another big man, number 18, outrunning everybody to that left pylon. 14-7 lead. San Diego State now up 21-7. Washington State looking to bring it back to a 1-score game. Going for that RPO out to the right. But big boy number 58. This has just been all the big boys making plays here at halftime, like we saw number 55 on Rice do. Number 58 on San Diego State takes that one back for a touchdown. The Aztecs come away with a 34-20 win up in Pullman. One last game with highlights here for us. UAB versus Sam Houston. UAB started off 0-5, now up to 3-5, but there goes the Bethel Roman Empire guy you just always have to keep your eyes on when going up against San Diego State. Now we got a 4th and inches for UAB, down by 7, gets blown up. Sam Houston forces the turnover on downs, but on their first offensive play, ball at their own 7. This is just like what we were talking about with Georgia Southern. You have to be careful down here. Gets hit as he's thrown, gets intercepted, and a pick 6 for UAB to tie it back up at 14 apiece. Now the Blazers down by 3, going also with some power run like we see Rice do, this time out of the single back, and his big boy number 28 takes that one in for the touchdown, putting the Blazers up in the 3rd quarter. Now we see a kickoff here with UAB up by 7. We've seen Sam Houston kick return many times. This time, go with the squib kick. 78 tries to pitch it back to Bethel Roman, but nobody is there. There is no Sam Houston player in the area. UAB scoop and score, and the Blazers get the win 31-24. From starting off 0-5, that gets them to 4-5 and sitting atop their conference, looking to earn that promotion. A shout out Cosmic Selector for that one. Let's get back to our main event here. We've got a very fun second half in store between UTSA and Georgia Southern. Just jumping ahead about 30 seconds or so, Georgia Southern facing a 3rd and 12 at their own 41 here. Now, 2-man under on defense. We're going to have that drag. We find the drag again to who else but Kenoy. Who else, man? This guy has been unbelievable for Georgia Southern today. I'm just making sure that's actually him. Yes, number 89, Howie Kenoy. The guy has been absolutely everywhere for Georgia Southern, just making plays all over the field. He's definitely been my most impressive guy for the Eagles here so far, except of course Eddie Guerrero. He's always going to be the best. Again, looks like he's potentially blown up in the backfield, but still able to find his way for 5 yards. Now, bunch strong nasty with our bunch to the wide side. RPO makes a lot of sense, and everybody seems to bite inside. Number 16, Tonjes again. Just like right before half, if we just have a, oh, that wasn't actually Tonjes right before half. Whoever it was right before half, it was Peace before half. But again, if we just had a little bit more speed on these gosh dang wide receivers, there was a lot of room to roam after hitting that RPO. That having that bunch of the wide side certainly makes sense. I thought UTSA's user was flying in there and was going to undercut and pick that one off. That one was close. I think Georgia Southern actually kind of pass let that one up because he saw the same thing. And that's what kind of led to him getting hit from behind and that ball coming out. But now we got a 2nd and 10 at the 15 bunch. Again, over to the wide side. It could be another RPO. No, just going like a dagger. Go for the underneath, take the nice safe and easy one, even if it's just 2 yards. Keep the drive moving, keep it alive. 3rd and 8 at the 13. See if we are, oh, we're going to some spread Y slot here. And UTSA staying in that split defense, which has actually been working pretty nice. Pressing everybody, shading everybody down. Right behind the user. What a find from GMOS of Georgia Southern. There's Tonjes again getting open, finding some space and getting in for the touchdown. Georgia Southern jumps back on top here. Got that big stop before half, got that big field goal before half, then open up the 3rd quarter with the touchdown drive, puts them up by 3. UTSA though, this offense is moving in this Oregon playbook. Going with a little mesh underneath and then a halfback wheel. What was that? Number 23 just did, but there goes Melvin. He has definitely been the star of UTSA, like we've seen Kenoy for Georgia Southern, but it looked like he was coming down to blitz and then he ended up backing off. So I saw the same thing UTSA did there. That wheel route's going to be wide open. Ended up being a little bit dicey, but we find our guy. That's all that really matters. Melvin takes it down to Georgia Southern's 34. UTSA looking to tie it up or potentially even take the lead right back here in the 3rd quarter, about halfway through. 2 minutes and 36 seconds. Going with an RPO here, which I like. I think Georgia Southern's been in a lot of zone coverage. We can throw that, see if anybody can block out there. Our inside guy didn't do great, but our outside guy kind of made up for it, taking nice, easy, free 9 yards there. So 2nd and 1 for the Roadrunners. Let's see, I think he came out in crack toss here, but again, I just don't love it against... I really like it against things like double mug, things with super condensed. Oh, that's a heck of a run shoot there from number 36. Like the super condensed defenses, you can try to pop a toss to the outside. Georgia Southern hasn't really been coming out in that, so I like that we're audibling out of it and going more to the runs up the middle, even though the GMOS did a great job shooting that one. Going with a little empty here on a 3rd and 2. Definitely have to respect the QB run here, going against somebody like Moga. Going with a huge, that was a run commit, I think. I think Georgia Southern ran commit on this, because look at everybody just crashes down, leaves wide open touchdowns. But we'll just take the 1st down right underneath. That had to have been a run commit from Georgia Southern. Makes for an easy 1st down completion for UTSA. Roadrunners coming out now in a heavy wing tight Z formation. 3 tight ends on the field, 1 solo receiver out to his right, Melvin in the backfield. Let's see if Melvin can find some room here, because yeah, you gotta imagine this is just gonna be a run. See if this is gonna be another run commit. It looked like it was. Georgia Southern getting aggressive here on defense, but with how Melvin's been able to run the rock, I don't hate busting out a run commit every once in a while. I'm not sure if I've ever ran commit in my life. I don't think I have. I probably should. I probably should sometimes. I don't think I've done it once. I very rarely even pass commit. So this, a slot option, it looks like UTSA is coming out in. I like that we're using the legs of Moga here and just give it as the run up the gut to Richard Kindred. Find a little bit of space, setting us up for a 3rd and 5. But I like we're a lot of different formations, a lot of different ways that we're trying to get our quarterback involved in the run game. When you got one like Luke Moga, we have to find ways to do that. And I feel like we haven't really been able to pop a run with him yet. But I think the opportunity is there. Did we go with the RPO read bubble? We did. So here, I actually want to watch that right edge and see if we can even keep this with Moga. See what Georgia Southern... I mean, we probably could have, but the bubble's wide open. Bubble, beautiful blocking there from the big boys out wide. Number 87, Devon Cheeseman, of course, future Packer, has to be. Takes that one in for the touchdown. UTSA takes the lead late in the 3rd quarter and a penalty on Georgia Southern running into the kicker. Let's throw it to another game break here, though, between James Madison and Louisiana. Louisiana put a couple more field goals on the board. It's 27-7, but here comes that frickin' Cam Dyer again. This guy, this little fake jet power, bounces off the tackle and then just outruns everybody. Guy is a freak of nature. Cam Dyer takes it all the way in for a nearly 80-yard touchdown run to keep the hope alive for James Madison there. Brings it to a 27-14 ball game. But just 4 minutes left in our main event here, and Georgia Southern's got the ball right at the 50-yard line, utilizing some of that Arkansas pistol, going with a play action, finds his deep crosser over the middle, and Georgia Southern looking to work clock here, just ends up going down with DeMar Tonjes. So it started with Howie Kenoy, now it's been DeMar Tonjes kind of taken over for this Georgia Southern offense, but either way, win up to 314 yards here on the day with 4 minutes to go, just outside the red zone in a 4-point ball game. We are working that clock, got that chew clock on. Georgia Southern wants to drain this down as far as we possibly can. Going back with our own run with Eddie Guerrero, and look at the little shiftiness, look at the little moves he's got in the backfield there. He's only got 10 attempts for 28 yards, but he's won my heart, if that counts for anything. And down here, I definitely like going, I like this cover 2 invert, and I think I would shade it underneath here. Even against this doubles, we've got to watch out for those RPOs, going back to the runs. We know Georgia Southern's really trying to take some clock here. We got to watch the quick underneaths, got to try our best to blow up those runs. So something like, yeah, 3-3-5 split. That's been the defense we've been in. And I feel like it's been doing a pretty good job for us. We are going to go to some stack here, though. We can't quite run this all the way down to the 2-minute warning, but we can get awful close. 5 seconds left on the play clock. Yeah, utilize that safety, come down in case it is a run. Try to fly down there and fill in that gap, and you just risky game, just giving yourself up to go down there after 5 yards. So you're not guaranteed to get in. Red zone is tough. It's tough to score down here. So I personally always will take the points. If you're going to let me score, I'm going to take it because I don't trust myself down in this area of the field. Georgia Southern, G. Moss thinks differently about his boys. Going back to that RPO, keeps it up the middle. Eddie Guerrero kind of gets blasted there, but not after picking up 4 yards. So it's the 3rd and 1 at the 1. UTSA deciding to hold on to their timeouts here for when they get the ball back. Down to a 1.5 minutes. I mean, Georgia Southern's been doing good work on this clock. Whoa. That kind of tripped me up here for a little bit. Trying to roll out with a win and just wow, that a lot just tripped me up there. The camera angle switching, that ball just flew to Atlanta. You just spiked that sucker right in the ground. Could have been an intentional grounding, honestly. But now we have a 4th and 1 at the 1-yard line. Pistol you off trips. Got to be thinking tight end RPO here. And got to be thinking try to blow up this run. It is the tight end RPO, and our outside corner just stands there and watches. Oh, devastating. We go with the man coverage there to try to watch the RPO, but just nobody reacts to that tight end in time. And G-Moss is in with 1:16 to go. 3-point lead. One last game break between JMU and Louisiana. It is 27-14, right where we left off. One last gasp for the Dukes here with 3.5 minutes to go. A 4th and 9. Game essentially on the line here. Going with a little mix of match, maybe a little cover 6 Willie or something like that on defense, but we have the corner wide open and it gets absolutely sold. Absolutely airmailed, and JMU falls to Louisiana 27-14. You hate a great comeback effort there from Supersonic with the way that game started. It was 21-0. Louisiana, they came back. They were down 13 there. They had the guy wide open in the 4th quarter to keep that drive alive, and who knows what happens from there. But unfortunately, we'll never find out. So Louisiana, the Red Menace, gets another win on the board. Now we're going with that slot. Going with that slot option again, and look at that speed burst of Luke Moga. That's why we got to utilize the legs of this young man. I honestly thought that was going to be a touchdown. I thought he was scoring on that one. It didn't look like anybody was going to be able to keep up with him. And then we have the halfback getting wide open, but he runs right into the drag, bumps him off his route, and leads to an incomplete pass. This has been a pretty wild last few minutes here. We've got 57 seconds left. UTSA down by 3, but all 3 timeouts in a game they absolutely need to win if they want any hope of the promotion up to a next conference. Let's see what Luke Moga, let's see what Nabuda, let's see what the Roadrunners have got here. We have the underneath on the left if we want to take it. We do eventually. Just pick up the first down, and Cheeseman gets hurt. That's unfortunate. But just pick up the first down, keep the drive alive, keep it moving. All at the 44. I don't know how realistically, let's see, probably 25-ish yards to get into a realistic field goal range. We're going to go, let's see, what are we audible into? I think we came out in an inside zone. We are going to end up sticking with it. I mean, it's kind of killed them all day. That run game of UTSA just been bullying Georgia Southern, and that puts us past the 50-yard line now. Going with a little hurry up, staying in that trips set. Going back to this, looks like the same play we had earlier where we had the wheel route. We have A getting over. Oh my gosh. We had A getting open. The halfback was close. I'm not sure if that was actually open. But we get hit as we throw. But luckily, it doesn't go straight to a defender because that was awful close. That was right to the feet of that linebacker. Nearly disaster for UTSA. 39 seconds now. Ball at the 45. Still all 3 timeouts, so time not really a concern here for the Roadrunners. Have that wheel route on the left. Beautiful play from UTSA. He did go down. I thought for sure that was a broken tackle. And when we were laughing and we were walking into the end zone, but he does end up getting tripped up there by number 11, Cheeseman, fighting through the injury, fighting through the fatigue. He is beat up, he is tired, he is sore, but he's putting it all on the line for his Roadrunner brothers here today. 3-point game 33 seconds ago. Another little shuffle motion into a Texas route, drag underneath, streak over on Y. We could throw that to Y quick, have our Texas route, have that angle route, take off and run with Moga. Okay. We don't want to risk throwing one of those on the run. It's understandable. I get that. Not with a guy like Moga. Take it down to about 20 seconds left. Take our timeout. And with the legs that we got, take your 7 yards. 21 seconds remaining. We're going back to that slot option. I mean, it worked pretty dang well last time. And we're going to keep it up the middle. Kindred does pick up the first down. Okay, big. Stops the clock there for a second. We will end up taking a timeout here anyway. Yet UTSA took that timeout. 18 seconds. First and goal at the 5. Essentially, if UTSA doesn't win this game, it's pretty much their season is done at this point. A win and at least a hope of getting that promotion and getting to the Sun Belt Conference Championship game still alive. So Georgia Southern went to an RPO down here. UTSA is going to try going to an RPO down here as well. Can't throw it. Got to keep it as a run. Good run shoot again there by G-Moss. Brings them down. 15 seconds. We're just going hurry up here. No, take our last time out. Okay. Second and goal. So we've seen, I think Georgia Southern's gone to some man coverage here recently. So we go to corner strike, then take the corner out off of B. But I was going to say the stadium pulse, but it's not really doing much. But we have him in the right flat. Stay in. Brother, number 4, Charleston Bouye. Just stay in there, brother. And he ends up walking. The momentum carries him out. You can't stick the ball across the pylon or nothing there, friend. Come on, man. Third and goal at the 1. UTSA out of timeouts. There's nobody out on the receiver on the right. Right? Or is he just blending into the end zone? I don't think there's anybody out there on B. Snap, high ball 1 to B. Or we think that's probably goal line defense. That's probably man defense. Hit the quick slant or drag right over the middle. Kingston Jones ends up being the hero of the day for UTSA with 10 seconds left. Third and goal at the 1. Find Kingston Jones. Moga puts it right on the money, and the Roadrunners are going to escape Statesboro, hopefully with a 28-24 win. We've seen crazier things happen here. Going for that deep crosser, and Wynn just kind of throws one into the dirt. So now one last shot for the Eagles. Hit your guy in space, but there's just no speed on that offense. And UTSA gets the 28-24 victory. What a game between our guys there. Nabuda, G-Moss, great game to both of you. Super fun game, very even in total offense. UTSA did their work on the ground though. 25 carries for 183 yards versus Georgia Southern was airing it out a little bit more. 24 for 34, 340 yards. Both teams did fantastically on third down. Both defenses kind of struggling to get off the field there, but what a game between our guys there. That was a fun one. Congratulations to UTSA. Let's take a quick look at all of our conference standings and how everything sits here at the end of week 10. We have had a couple games played in week 11, most notably Louisiana and Toledo where Toledo finally put a stop to the red menace of the Raging Cajuns. Obviously, it's not going to be our game of the week for week 11. We'll have some highlights and things and see how Toledo pulled that one off. So that's going to put Louisiana at 4-1 in conference. Their one loss to Toledo. We have us, ODU, here in the Mountain West, 3-1 in conference. Our one loss to Louisiana. Toledo at 4-1 in conference. Their one loss to Old Dominion. We've got quite the musical chair situation going on up here at the top. But I don't expect us to stay here for long because our next three are James Madison, 92 overall squad, Utah State, 89 overall squad, our year 2 national champion, and Tulsa, who somehow is a 96 overall. Preposterous. So those are the 3 games Old Dominion has left. If we can go 1-2 and finish 4-3 in conference, I'd be thrilled with that. I would be so happy. That'd put us in a great spot. And it's looking like when it comes to the relegation, it's probably going to be Buffalo and Texas State unless one of these guys catches fire and one of these 3 really falls apart. We know we are safe because we've already beaten both Buffalo and Texas State. So we will see how it all ends up shaking out, but it's looking like it might be Buffalo and Texas State getting moved down into Conference USA, where we've got quite the race going on here as well. Marshall and Oregon State both sitting atop at 4-1, but with 2 losses right behind them. We got Navy. We just had a new user take over for FIU, so we will see what happens there. We got 2 losses with Rice. We got 2 losses with North Texas. UNLV is guaranteed to get moved down. And not only do these 2 loss teams have a shot at getting promoted and moving up to the Mountain West, if it all goes wrong, they have a chance of falling down here too. As Georgia State's at 1-3 in conference, the best they can do is 4-3, but some of these guys do have a chance of doing worse than that. So the relegation of Conference USA will be interesting, and the promotion of Conference USA with how these conference records are sitting as of right now. Then in the American, our Silver Conference, we got UAB sitting at 4-1. We said they started off 0-5. Now they are 4-1 in conference, right there with Bowling Green, 9-1 overall, 4-1 in conference. 2 lost teams. We've got San Diego State, Army, and Sam Houston all battling to make that top 2, make that promotion. Or then when it comes to relegation, we've got 2-3 USF, 1-5 App State, and 1-4 Washington State. So a lot to be determined throughout the American Conference here as well over our last few weeks. Then our bottom conference, the Bronze Conference, the Sun Belt, Colorado State, undefeated. Our only undefeated in conference play, I'm pretty sure. I just went over it. You'd think I'd remember it, but I don't. Colorado State, 7-2, 4-0 in conference. ECU with 1 loss behind them. UTSA with 3-1 right behind them. That's why that was a gigantic win for them. Keep that promotion thought alive. Have they played East Carolina yet or Colorado State? Let's see. They have not. So next up, they're going to play against Colorado State. Then they'll have Southern Miss and East Carolina. So it's all, the fate is in the hands of the Roadrunners at this point. And in this one, there is no further down relegation. We're not like kicking anybody out for not doing well enough or anything like that. It's only the top 2 are going to be moving up, and it is going to be quite the race to see who ends up in that spot. So that's a wrap on everything that happened here in week 10 and a little bit that happened in week 11. We'll be back probably tomorrow. I know we've been doing kind of rapid fire almost every day videos here, but we fell a little behind, so we got to get caught up. So probably tomorrow we'll have our user game against James Madison. Fingers crossed for us in that one. Then we will definitely have a game of the week of week 11. We've already had a few games played, and we've already had some absolute unbelievable games played. So we'll be back with those here shortly. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I will see you guys then. Until then, take it easy.